All right, we're live. Episode 38, Basically Monday podcast. Back here with the boys, John and Valero. How are the both of you doing tonight, this
What's
Wednesday?
up? Better than last Wednesday. I don't remember what happened last Wednesday, but yeah, last
We'll
week
get
was
into
just
that.
like a week, but it's better.
All right, well, that's good to hear. How about you, John?
Much better since hearing the firing of the employee story. That was great.
Yeah,
and
that was great. And
um,
we will circle back.
yeah. But anywho, yeah, I'm doing fine. I still haven't heard anything about the job comp yet, so
Mm,
that's kind of stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to like schedule a call with the guy and tell him what I wanted, the guy who originally offered me the job. So
dang. He didn't really offer it to you, though. He just kind of like,
yeah, he's like, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Yeah." And then, yep. So here we are. But yeah, so that's one of those things at work that's just sort of always on in the back of my head. But is what it is. Everything else is going really well though.
They had no intentions of like that you had to schedule the meeting. That means they weren't
Yeah,
even trying.
yeah. I had
yeah,
to
they were
go
hoping that you would
after.
just be like,
Oh
all
no,
right,
no,
yeah,
no.
this is my new position. Like,
No, that's
I don't even
100%
care.
true. They thought I was going to take just no pay increase, and then they found out that I wanted one. They offered me like a 6% raise from where I am now, and I was like, nope, we're way far apart. And they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, yeah. Now we're in this position.
It's
They're
like
the ones that made the mistake. Like you're
100%.
like they're trying to give you like a promotion 6 months in. Like of course you're gonna want everything.
Yeah, right. You
Like
yeah,
yeah, it's
you
obvious that
created
you
a
got it.
yeah, you created a role for me. Like yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm gonna ask for I'm not gonna ask
Like
about it based on my current compensation.
That's like if I don't know if anyone listening actually watches American football, but it's American football season. And that's like if a head coach like went on the podium like a press conference after the game. He was like, "Yeah, Mr. Throwballicus is our best player ever. We
Throwballicus.
we could literally not win a single game without him, and his contract extension meeting is gonna be tomorrow." Like it's like you expect that guy to come and be like, "Yeah, I don't need any more money." Like you just told
Yeah,
him that he's
yeah,
like the most valuable guy on earth.
yeah,
yeah, that's insane.
yep.
Yeah, that's not gonna go well. Like literally, like in FIFA, like and in Football Manager, I play both of those. Like if you make an announcement about a player, like that's exactly like they literally program that mechanic into the game where like now they're like expected to be paid more and have more playing time. Like, and if you don't give it to them, like there's a great chance that they'll become unhappy, and then if they're unhappy, they're gonna leave the team for like another team. Like
With all
that's
your
the
secrets too.
yeah, like that's the exact thing. Like it's like literally you should just be like, hey, you should check out like FIFA or like Football Manager sometime. Like next time they try and train you guys, you'd be like, you know what, just maybe for training for managers, check out FIFA. Actually, it's not even called that anymore. It's called like FC 24, but like
Yeah. Yeah, did you see that? That's crazy.
yeah, like I honestly thought that was never gonna happen in my life, but like it did. But I
That's how
still
you
call it
know.
FIFA.
FIFA thief.
Yeah, how many things like that exist in your guys' lives now? Like stuff that is either changed names or doesn't exist anymore, but you still refer to it because it was too much a part of like your life thus far.
I feel like there's got to be something. That's like,
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
The only other one I can think of is like here, uh, Valero and I, we live in Milwaukee, and we have like a baseball team called the Brewers, and it used to be
oh,
called like Miller Stadium or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And then it got, I don't know, for some reason Miller was like, yeah, this is not a good like partnership at all, even though it was like literally the best partnership in all of sports.
Yeah, like literally.
And they're just like, yeah, no, whatever. And then like some insurance company bought it, the rights to name the stadium. But I'm pretty sure myself and everyone else here still calls it Miller
Yeah,
Park.
forever.
Um,
Like, are
Yeah.
they gonna rename that entire like 2 mile stretch of like road with all the shops on it, like to like what was it, American
Oh
Family
yeah.
Insurance Parkway or something? That would be the
That's a
worst
good point.
name. Like, it's all just terrible. But like Miller, it was perfect. It was perfect. Just 2 syllables, Miller Park. Like, well, Miller is 2 syllables and then Park. But like, what's the official name? It's not even like American Family Insurance. It's like the American Family Insurance Field or something, or
I don't know.
fe- I don't know. Yeah, it's too much. Like, I don't ever want to see that on like a sign or a card or something. Like, that's just too much to read and say.
Yeah, they really messed up, especially considering that I don't know if I think this is still true, but Wisconsin is number one for bars per capita
Oh,
per person in the
bars?
in the
Oh,
nation.
bars.
Yeah. For every like one person, there's like three bars.
For every one
No.
person.
No.
It sounds ridiculous, but like,
No, that's not
it's
possible.
actually true.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's actually pretty much like the like pretty close to like reality. Like, it's like slightly exaggerated, but like yeah, that's basically it. I think it's like legit like 1 bar like per 10 people.
Okay, for
Like,
10
All right,
people.
so
Yeah, that makes sense.
which is
no,
still
it's
insane.
10
That means
bars
like
per one person.
that means
No.
like there's a
Yeah, no.
50-50 chance
That's
in your
physically not
house
possible.
someone works at a bar, which is like
I
sounds about
mean,
right.
yeah, yeah. I've known so many bartenders, so yeah, I think that checks out.
Oh, I
Like,
thought of another one. Facebook turning into Meta. Like, no, it's Facebook. Like, you can't. You're forever gonna be Facebook. That
oh
just happened
yeah,
though.
and Twitter too. Like, who's gonna
Oh
call it
yeah,
X?
X. Never, ever, ever. I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
see
it
those things
Twitter until they close, which will be soon.
see those things
Yeah,
mentally yeah, I call them the new names.
man, he
You
really
call it
fucked
X?
it.
Well,
Oh, there's no
I
way.
don't really refer to it because I'm not never on it, so I don't that's not something that even comes up in my daily conversation. The only time I've ever talked to someone else about it has been like through text, and it's only been like if they've brought it up. So I've never even had to write it or say it until now. But yeah, I'd probably just call it X. That's what it's called, right?
No, man, it's
No, it's
Twitter.
about to be called nothing because that shit's going out of business.
It's gonna be called
Well,
before it
whatever.
closes.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Did you see he's
Hilarious.
about to like charge people to tweet? Can you imagine?
That's insane. Like, what's the point? Like, it just go to any other platform at this point. Like, he's
Yeah.
like begging people to like leave. Hilarious. Oh, Mr. Elon.
Unless he just like is trying to, I don't remember what episode we talked about this in, but maybe he wants to make it like a true public forum. So he's trying to get like all the civilians and like simpletons off there, and he only wants like politicians and like notable like trusted people to be saying stuff on there, and they'd probably be willing to pay to like put a message up, don't you think?
Yeah.
If there's value in putting a message up, which for now there is, but like he's quickly losing that. So like, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I guess it depends how much he charges. Like, if it's like $5 a tweet, then like I guess that's kind of a lot, but like at the same time, anyone could afford that. Like, if I'm like your local dumbass, like I can still like have a Twitter.
Yeah,
But like if
it's
he makes it like unreachable for those people, then it's like eh, yeah, how unreachable is he trying to make it? I guess it.
I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I can't. I think it's really the biggest company that I've been able to see like the entire life cycle of in my lifetime.
Yeah,
Because I
that's right.
remember when like they didn't even have an app or even like barely a website. It was all like text. Like you literally like got texts of tweets to your phone. And to like send a tweet, you had to like text it to this like random number that was Twitter. Very,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know about it that early. I just remember like yeah, the shameful website where it was like, wow, this is. Like someone made this like in their like freshman like programming class.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, whatever, like, but I guess it's kind of useful. And then yeah, it became like what it is now, which is a
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Well, since we're talking about this already, let's check in on some of our storylines from last week. So, Valero, how's it going with that scammer? Did you get her arrested or what?
No, yeah, literally there is absolutely no updates except for the fact that like I guess like no news is good news. Like nothing is missing, nothing's like wrong with anything. So yeah, she just like she never logged into the system like by herself. Like like I literally have a record of like when she's like logged into like everything, and like the only time she logged into things was when I was literally on the phone with her. So like, and then as soon as I like, hang up the phone, she would just log right off and like never think about it ever again. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so I'm still looking for another one.
And
Yeah,
are
yeah, I
you
guess I'm not gonna like jump on them as quickly and maybe like let them cook for a little bit to see if they're serious. I'll try that that technique.
so you haven't come across any any more diamonds in the rough, or are you too scarred? Are you just looking at everyone like this motherfucker?
Yeah, that did scar me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially like after John said like that's like a trend. I was like, which one of these like these guys are trying to like just get a random week of money from me? So that sucks. But yeah, yeah. Well, that might change if I talk to more people, which I haven't yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh. Well, all the luck to you. I'm sure that you'll run into someone worthy and that actually cares. Um,
I hope so.
yeah. Oh man. Speaking of caring, John, do you have any updates from Dadland? Anything to add to the bylaws from last week?
Uh, no, I don't think I have anything to add to the bylaws. Um, yeah, just kids grow up really fast. I feel like it's the same shit that everyone else always says. I just feel like I look at my kid like every couple of weeks and think like he's in a completely different phase now, like every 2 weeks, and it just feels like time is flying by really really fast. So yeah, just enjoy the moments, I guess, because they go fast.
Is she still uh progressing in terms of taking care of all her daily needs? Like, can she use the plunger and everything now?
No, she can't use the. Yeah, I mean, she really, as far as body training is concerned, can really only tell us when she needs to go. Like, we still have to help her with all of the normal things, unless she just like goes number one. I guess I'll say she just pees, then she can wipe herself. Like that she can do. But just because of her size, she's just limited in what she'll be able to do on her own for a while. Like she's basically half the size of the toilet, so like she can't like the only way she could get up there would be to stick her whole hands on the fucking toilet seat, and I don't want that obviously, so I would just rather help her. Um, so yeah, she has like a like one of those um like kid versions of the
Adapters.
seats, yeah, so she can like walk up the steps and do that. But other than that, yeah, we have to basically help her. But no, yeah, she's in other ways I think she's developing a lot. Like she talks in close to whole sentences a lot of the times now. Like she'll just
Nice.
express whole ideas all at once, and that sometimes surprises me because sometimes
Wow.
she'll go in between 3 words or 4 words at a time to like yeah a whole sentence which might have like 7 to 10 words, and I'm just like okay, so that's that's a huge
Jeez.
like update all at once. Um, but
You mean
yeah,
like a run-on sentence, but like all the thoughts are there?
sometimes, but sometimes it's perfectly coherent too. So like
Dang.
sometimes it just sounds like a sentence, like anyone else could have said it. But a lot of
And
times
Interesting.
she'll express it in pieces, like in like 3 to 5 word pieces if she's thinking more than one thing.
Hmm.
But then sometimes 10 to 12 words will come out at a time, and it'll just be like, yeah, anywhere from 7 to 12 words will come out at a time. And just be like, oh, all right.
Wow, that's crazy. Is her voice like super high and like almost like unrecognizable? Because like I feel like that's how a lot of kids are for me. Like their voice is so high where they can walk up to me, say like a full paragraph of like what sounds like it could be coherent sentences, but the pitch is so high, I'm just like I couldn't make any of that out.
Um, I when she's been around other people, they've been able to understand her from what I could gather, but that's like family and people who have been around her a while. So I don't know. Maybe it would sound that way to you, but like it doesn't sound that way to me. But that just could be my bias because obviously I see her every single day. So
Interesting. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I can't wait to meet her.
I
I'll
thought
let
she
yeah,
you
spoke
know.
like
yeah,
very clearly when I was there last. Like
yeah, yep.
um like I picked up a phone call while I was there, and then like she mimicked what I said on the phone for like 10 minutes afterward, and it was perfect. Like she wasn't, it wasn't like even in the same like tone and cadence that I had said it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
What?
it was
yeah.
very impressive.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and that's something else that she started saying now. Like when something surprises her or she thinks it's like pretty cool, she'll say, "That's impressive." And I'm just like, where'd you even get that
What?
from?
Really?
Yeah, she'll say that. Like when we were doing something. We were trying to like just today. Okay, today we built this little ramp and shit and I put a little the ball of tape like a tape actual roll of tape on the ground. So we were rolling the balls off this ramp to try to get it into the hole of the tape. And like she did it multiple times. And yeah, both she said to me, "That's impressive." She was like, "What?" After she did it, she was like, "Whoa, that's impressive." And then she would just like exactly like that, like that's impressive. And she'll look at me like that with that face. I'm just like, who even are you? Like
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
right.
like where'd you get that
Yeah,
from?
it's crazy.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so she definitely does mimic a lot, and I'm sure she gets a lot of that from us. So yeah, it's just interesting to see that played back to you sometimes, and to have her recognize when it's appropriate to use it. Like that's the other
Yeah.
kind of cool part.
Like that's totally like in context. And that's not even like a base level like good. Like that's like a I'm trying to tell you how good I think it is and
Right,
what I'm talking to you about.
right.
That's insane.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, you guys are really doing it.
Yeah. So I
Let me
think
just give you a
about
round of applause.
yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I think about that a lot. Like we Danielle and I talk about how we're gonna miss each of these stages, and people always think like 18 years is a long time to be with your kid, but like I'm already through two of them, and
Mhm.
it's like that was like yeah, it was parts of it that felt really long, but that was fast. That was fucking fast, and before I know it, it'll be over. So yep, it's
Jeez.
just one of those
What do you
things.
mean it's over? It's like
Yeah,
it's like
because
once
it's
they're adult, it's like oh they're dead. They might
no,
because
it's just it's this part of it is
It's not
over.
the same.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's yeah, like you said, it's different. I was literally just telling Danielle this today. Like it'll just be different things that we'll appreciate. We'll be proud. We'll be looking at the things she'll do on her own. But the part of it that we're like a part of her learning for like most of the day, like that time that window's even closing already. So yeah, it's weird to just see the window close like right in front of you because it means that they're learning, obviously.
Interesting.
that's
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I'm gonna start saying this. That's gonna be my phrase for like the next month or so.
Yeah,
That's impressive. I feel like that's pretty normal.
yeah,
All right, well, I'm very happy to hear that. Um, Unfortunately, I can't add anything to my bylaw chart right now, but
yeah.
I will just keep this anecdote in mind.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Crazy.
Yeah, on the topic of kids and growing up and eventually seeing where they land, I do have a question for both of you guys. I'm wondering, so in terms of outcomes for your children, assuming that like you're elderly and then like they have an adult life and all that. It doesn't have to be like the kid that you have right now. Like let's say that you guys end up having more kids or something like that. What what would be like considered the worst outcome? Like, and I'm gonna give you three options. So out of these three, which one would you like be the least like disappointed of? If your child turned out to be a complete, hopeless, and irrecoverable idiot, or a cruel, conniving, self-involved socialite, or the third one, a callous and corrupt career criminal. So it's those three options. Which one of those would you rather pick? Would like obviously this is not going to happen like for you guys are going to be good parents and like they'll be fine, but let's say that the worst of the worst happens and it's one of these three. Like which one is the most like what could you stomach the most and still be like,
Wait, so which one is the
yeah,
worst,
That's
or
a
which
good
one?
question.
Yeah, which one was the worst, or which one could I stomach the most?
which one could you stomach the most? Like which one would you like yeah, I get yeah, which one could you stomach the most?
Uh, Probably career criminal, depending on what the crime was.
Uh things that are callous and corrupt and most likely violent. If, like a career
Uh,
criminal, like starting
God,
small and then like eventually like get into
Wait,
the
wait, wait, wait. That
Jesus,
was it was career criminal, hopeless idiot,
or social like
and
socialite.
conniving socialite.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
Career criminal.
yeah.
So they don't have like a good career, but then they did something criminal. They like their career is
is
crime.
being a criminal, yeah.
Right.
And apparently
Yeah,
the worst kind of crime
yeah.
Dang it. Okay.
that you
Yeah, I
can
was gonna pick the
imagine.
career one too until I kind
Yeah.
of heard it in that way. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, no,
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I
I,
guess I would pick the conniving socialite.
oh God. I
And
feel
and
like
you would pick and you would still be like, I'm still like okay with the relationship I have with my daughter or son, and like even though I don't totally agree, like it's fine that they're doing that. That's how you feel about if they turned out to be like a I don't know.
Conniving socialite. Yeah, what is a conniving socialite? Is that like Kim Kardashian's mom or something like that?
Yeah, but maybe a little bit worse, like a Jeffrey Epstein.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Like on
I
that level, or just like someone like similar to his demeanor?
someone similar to him, like power by any means necessary.
I I have to go with career criminal.
Yeah, I would still pick that one.
Fuck. That hurts. Yeah, but career criminal, I guess. That's the one I can stomach the most.
Career criminal. So they're just like robbing shit and like
Nah, man. Like, yeah, to start
carjacking
off with.
people and like
So then, okay, so let me start with
then
you,
like
John.
doing drive-bys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So let's say, so at what point, at what point would your needle tip from being like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, obviously you have to be supportive of your kin. Like, when do you stop like thinking like a parent and you have to like take a step back and be like, all right, as a normal civilian part of society, I'm not sure I want this person to be like around anymore. Like, what would it take? Would they have to murder like 10 people, 5 or
Like and still be around and still be like be around me?
yeah, for you to still be supportive and like, visit them in
Oh
prison and
no.
be like, "Oh, I love you, I'm sorry
Oh
that you
no
made
no.
these
If you
mistakes."
at the point where you begin to like reform, then we can have that discussion. But like the moment you kill anyone, like would I if you were remorseful and like something like went wrong and you weren't intending on killing people, yeah, and we could reconcile. But uh,
No, this guy's
if you
career.
yeah if you're a career like you were describing it, then yeah, I don't think I could have a relationship with you like that. I don't know that that'd be possible. Because then I'm putting myself I'm putting myself in like you've decided you want to live your life in danger. Like
Mhm.
I would not like that, but if you're a person, so you can decide that for yourself. But then you interacting with me is deciding that for me, and then I have an issue with that. Like that's not okay. So like I would help if you wanted to help, but if you're an adult, there's only so much I can do. at that point. The only reason I picked that one was because the other ones seem worse to me. I
If
just it just feel they both feel way worse.
Would you turn your kid in if they told you like they keep murdering people and like they just keep telling you about it? Like,
Why would
would
they?
you be
How would
like, all
they?
right?
How would they keep telling me? The moment you say that you murdered someone, I'm not having a future conversation with you unless
So, like, wait, okay, but would you turn them in, or would you just be like, I don't want to hear about this and don't talk to me anymore?
I would immediately say I don't know, I don't know if you're serious or not. Like I don't know how you tell someone that like calmly in a conversation. So like
They'd be like, yeah, I'm serious, and I'm gonna do it
like
again tonight because they wronged me with
why would you
little pat pat.
how does that even come up? Like what kind of career criminal is just offering up this kind of information to their parents? This is
I don't
insane.
know. You're like hanging out with them, like so, like when like during like Father's Day, so like they're over and there's
So
like,
in this
and you're like, yeah, what
scenario,
have you been doing? It's like, man, this guy he tried to cross me, but then I pulled out
but see, like the
this
moment,
shotgun. I was like, "Oh."
no, no, that assumes that I know so little about my kid that like that would be a surprise. That's crazy. No, there'd be no way that could happen.
Like, what if somehow it happened like through like some crazy like way in life where like you had no control and somehow they ended up getting brought up and like by the time you had a relationship with them it was like kind of too late and you couldn't steer them away and this is like
I would
what
I
like
would tell them
things have
the
devolved
moment
to.
that I'd find that out, I'd tell them like what I think would be in their best interest to get them help, and I'd ask them what they want to do and like take some time to decide that, and then when you come back to me like give me a decision, and based on that decision that's what's going to determine whether or not we're going to continue to have a relationship.
So let's
But
let's
would
say
you turn them
that
in though?
I would
Like what if he came back to you he's like, you know what, I thought about
I would not turn
your
anyone
ultimatum,
I would
and
not
I just
turn
want to
anyone
let you
in.
know that I went
Okay, this
personally
is
to
just
three random people's houses last night and
no.
killed them.
No, I'm not turning someone in unless I have like very ample evidence that they've done something wrong, and
What if, okay,
them telling me
what
they
if he
killed
took a
someone is
video
not.
of it
Why would I be watching the video?
because he came over to tell you his decision?
Okay, this doesn't make any sense.
And he was like, and this is, and because he's pissed that you gave him the ultimatum, so then he's like, you know what? I'll show him. I'll
if
show him who
if
his
some
son
way,
is.
yeah, if some way in this really ridiculous scenario that you've given, if that was to happen, then yeah, I would turn them in because that's just
Yeah,
foolish.
it was like literally never happened. But okay, so eventually you would turn him in, but you would have to like he'd have to literally be like telling you things that are like
It's
super obvious and
yeah,
not be sorry about it.
yeah, but I mean, it's far more likely. Like I thought we were like trying to make the scenario somewhat real, but like yeah, it's far more likely that I would just end the conversation and the relationship before I ever knew anything concrete about what you were doing. Because if that's what you're like leading with, then no, that's not like again, I would offer you help, but if you don't want it, then there's nothing really for me to say.
or so what if in this career of criminaling, like it never got to the point that anyone got killed. It's like all white collar crime. Does that change your opinion?
No, I don't want to have a, a relationship with someone who is continuing to to put themselves in harm's way because it makes me feel that you don't care about yourself, which doesn't make me think you value like the relationship we have because you don't value you. So no, I feel like I don't know how white collar you could like or how small of a crime you can get. Like if you robbed a store once, I think you're dumb, but like I would probably have some more questions. But that yeah, is that more understandable than you just saying, yeah, I'm just gonna commit fraud. Like that's my life's calling. Like I guess.
Like
But that
scholar.
but that's
There
but
are
that's
people actually
still
like that, which is crazy.
that's still better to you though than someone who's a fiend or a moron.
Yes. Yes, it is. Because I think that if you're a fiend, at least if you're a fiend or a criminal, you have to use and especially a career criminal, you have to use your brain in some capacity. Like the thing that you could folly away the most is your brain. Like even if you use it for things I would not agree with, at least you're using it. We can disagree on how you should use it. That's fine. I'm not going to make a moral judgment on that because, again, I don't really care. Like, it's your brain. But to, to, to literally just squander the brain is crazy to me. So that one is the worst by far.
The hopeless
There we
moron.
go.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I'm
I
adding that
also agree.
to I'm adding that to the bylaws. Um,
Like,
what was it?
please don't become a hopeless moron.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you gotta use your brain. As long I don't care how you're using your brain, as long as you're using it.
Yeah.
That's good. That is
Yeah.
good
Just
wisdom.
it needs to be used. That's all.
Okay.
So no matter what, it's just like, please do not become a hopeless moron.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
all right.
dang,
So,
okay. Yeah,
what
me
about
too, though.
you, Valero? Why why do you pick a fiend? Why is that the most?
He
Why
fiending.
is that the easiest to stomach? And at
I
what
feel
point
like,
would the fiending be too much for you to like be on board with, or
like,
there is no limit?
I guess you have to like explain to me like okay, so like what do you mean? So like what's the worst thing these kinds of people could do? Because like for the career criminal person, it was easy. It was like, okay, let's go to like murder. Like what if they're killing people? But like what's the worst thing a socialite, conniving socialite could do?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, let's say
But that's also like criminal
Yeah, exactly.
and
Which is another reason
possibly
why
like
that one is bad.
career criminal.
That's another reason why that one's bad because those people are the worst kind of career criminals. They're ones that lie about it to your face. And that persona is how they hide their crime.
mhm. Let's say that your child like becomes some kind of influential politician in some weird town or city somewhere. And like in their quest for like power and like influence and stuff, they kind of like grow apart from you because you have nothing to offer them. Like you're not connected enough, so they kind of like never ever talk to you really. And then like let's say you haven't spoken for like I don't know 5 years, and all of a sudden they're like, oh hey, like I just got like um inducted or I don't know, voted in for like some kind of prestigious like role in the city or the state. And I want you guys to come to the whatever, the gala that's happening. And you guys go and then like you see them and they're like all happy and stuff to your face and you take all these pictures. And then like the moment the ceremony is over, they're like security
Uh,
people come over to you and like
like that.
escort you away and like do not allow you to talk to them at all. And then
Dang.
like they just like completely like freeze you out. Just like it's very obvious you were just there as like a prop. Like
That's pretty
that
devastating.
yeah, that type of stuff.
Jesus Christ. No, I feel like that's not even close to worth it. I would almost want a hopeless moron over that. Like that particular scenario, yeah, like what's the point? Like I can just watch someone successful on TV like right now if I wanted that. Like if I literally don't even get to like talk to you, then like yeah, this is it would be useless. Yeah. So I guess like that might be the worst one. Like, cause that was pretty brutal. Like that's that's definitely pretty brutal. But like, yeah, that's pretty brutal. Like a hopeless moron isn't gonna do that to their parents at least. Like they'll be yeah. Yeah, I would rather have a hopeless moron over that then, I guess.
So
So
you're
then
changing your answer?
so I guess yeah, I'd rather have a hopeless moron. Ah, hopeless?
Yeah, totally. Like, and it's very obvious. Like everyone knows. Everyone is is very aware that your child is just not smart, and not
Oh
even
man.
like a intellectual disability. Like they just like they're aware and they can learn, but for some reason, like they're just not good at it.
This is so bad. Yeah, I guess yeah, Yeah, I'd still rather have that, I guess. Yeah, because at least they're gonna be around. But do I even want to spend time with someone like that? I don't even know. Maybe they'll be like funny sometimes or something.
No, it's like a burden.
God, that's so bad. It's a burden. You're so bad and
The
dumb. It's
people
like,
listening in
um,
2222 could see John's face, the way he was just shaking his head. Like the kind of like the kind of not smart that it just like it's so exasperating. Like you're just exhausted being there.
oh, Jesus Christ. Or career criminal. All right, fine. I go back to conniving socialite then.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least they're smart.
Right. At least like whatever. Yeah. At least they're smart. Like literally like I can just
Oh,
like
fuck.
just try and forget about all the work I did raising them and just like go live my life by myself. Like but like with the hopeless moron, I feel like yeah, it's a burden. And that's not ideal.
Hmm.
And the career criminal is a liability, like John said. But the conniving socialite, I feel like, all right, whatever, I'll be fine.
Okay.
God.
So then like what would be like the limit for you on conniving socialite? Is it that gala thing? Like, would you be like, all right,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
done?
Yeah, the gala thing, probably, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yep.
So then, what's like right below that, where you're just like, ah, God, I wish you weren't such a scumbag, but I still love you.
My God. What's right below that? So like I still like them.
Yeah.
Maybe like I wish you weren't such a scumbag. But I guess you're all right still. So I guess like if like instead of getting escorted out by security, like they talk to me for just like maybe like 5 minutes or less. And then there's like, all right, gotta go. Just like cut off the conversation where it's like, gotta go. But I'd be
Hmm.
like, all right, well, I mean, at least they gave me 5 minutes. Like, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that's about the limit. Like, yeah, if I can't get at least 5 minutes of your time, like once every blue moon, like I feel like yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for humoring me
What about
with that.
you?
Oh, hopeless idiot for sure.
That's who you'd want?
Yeah.
And who's your least favorite?
Uh, conniving socialite. That would be unacceptable.
And which one was your least? Oh, you said the hopeless idiot was your least favorite, John. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
it would be disappointing, but in my view, I feel like even if you're not smart, at least like we'll always be able to connect in the way that you'll always be like learning, not necessarily learning because like it'll never stick, but at least every time I hang out with that child, like I know I can tell them something and they'd be like, "Whoa, really?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
Drop some knowledge out of. Yeah, that's definitely yeah. But you said yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that would definitely be my second favorite.
Yeah.
But career criminal, that's too much, man. It's too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Yeah, if that I'm like pretty okay with that. Not like I'm gonna like condone it, but if like my kid came home and is like, I have to hide out here for a little while. I won't tell you what I did, but it's bad. I'd be like, okay. I would,
What
I,
what if
I
he
would.
had the blood on his shirt still?
Why is it always the sun?
Because like that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Like daughters can be bad too, but let's be real. Like something
Yeah,
like that, like
like let's be honest.
usually, usually that's mostly the guys.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I could. I don't know. I guess I'm a lot more forgiving when it comes to sins of sanity. So, although you can be completely sane and just like hurting people. I don't know. Does that make you sane? What do you guys think? If you just
If you like
enjoy,
hurting people,
yeah,
No, I don't think that makes you sane. No.
okay,
I think
yeah,
that is a deviation from the like what's it called? The evolutionary directive of like
are they
species
sane?
survival.
hmm,
I think that is a mutation. I don't think that's quite normal.
So is
yeah.
the conniving socialite the person that enjoys hurting people?
No, I would say the conniving socialite doesn't necessarily enjoy hurting people. They enjoy harnessing and gathering power. And if it just so happens that they have to hurt people on the way, then it doesn't really like make much of a difference. But it's only if that's like the route they have to take.
So the career criminal enjoys hurting people because
Right.
they could choose a different career, but they don't.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. That one's too much. Yeah, that'd be a no-go.
Yeah. I would just say look at it as like the conniving socialite is like they're a criminal, but like a they're a interpersonal criminal, not of the law, but like if you deal with them, they're gonna commit crimes against like your
Your
soul.
relationship, yeah.
Yeah,
They will cross you.
right. Whereas like if you have a child that's a career criminal, like they might still love you and like still be like down and like come over and like be like, "Oh, I love you, Dad. Like, what's going on?" But like you just know that when they're not at home, like they might be killing somebody. So
Oh,
yeah, it's interesting things to think about. Obviously, that won't happen to you guys. You guys are gonna do great. Um,
yeah, I hope not. That would be
yeah.
the literal worst case scenario.
But that did make me think of another question I have for you guys, kind of in the similar lines of this. Um, what do you guys think would happen if everyone on the planet like just did exactly what they wanted to do for 1 hour? Like regardless of societal pressures or norms or any of that stuff. Not quite the purge, although I'm sure people will like kill people. But let's say everyone just for an hour just forgot everything that they've learned in terms of living in society. Do you think that we're immediately
I mean,
like,
that is the purge.
is it though? I thought the
Yeah.
purge is just saying that all like violent crimes are legal.
No, it's all crime.
Okay. But still, so
And that's
so are
really
you
the only
saying
thing you can't do in a society anyway. So, yeah, that's.
okay, so I guess you kind of gave me your answer. But what do you think, Laura?
Wait, what was the
How is that my
question?
answer? Yeah, what?
Guys, see, it's I'm hearing that you think if everyone on Earth was allowed, or everyone on Earth decided to do exactly what they wanted for 1 hour, you
Uh,
think everyone's just gonna start committing crime.
No, no, I'm saying that like the rules of the question are very similar to Purge because the only things you would not be able to do in any society really are things that are already deemed criminal. So if you can
Okay.
forget all of that for an hour or any amount of time, really, that's really what the purge is. Like people don't do any of the cool stuff though because they're worried about the crime. There's just so like no, I don't know if there'd be if you did it for an hour, I have no idea. Like, I don't think it would turn into purge, but I definitely think there'd be some death. Like, yeah, I think a good portion of people would die. How many? I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah, I
about
mean,
you, Laura?
I guess if you like you make it to like the people who are like driving on the highway and like landing planes during that hour like are still like sane enough to like continue that without killing everyone. And like that's taken care of. Then like people just do whatever they want. I feel like you would like I don't know, like no, I don't think everyone would be committing crimes.
What
I
would they
feel like
do?
everyone would be like trying to like do something enjoyable,
Like what? That they can't do
like
now.
going to like I don't know, like a bar or like a restaurant or like well, I guess like you can't go to the bar or restaurant because no one's working. So like
Why?
no, it's,
Why is that?
Wait, what?
Why do you guys? Why do you
I
guys?
don't think, I don't know that no one's
I'm
working.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
well, like
This is
who's gonna
interesting.
choose to work at the bar or restaurant for that hour when you can literally be doing anything else?
like what
So
though?
you're saying that you think that literally no one on Earth will, with that, no one on Earth is like choosing to be a bartender because they love it?
I feel
No
like
one.
a super small, like 10%, 10% maybe,
Wait,
maybe less.
wait,
Like
this
I'll say
doesn't.
like 5%.
It doesn't make any sense though. You said what could they do? I said what could they do? You said go to a bar, and you said but no one be working there. And then we said why? You said because who would be at the bar on the people that you said would go. So why couldn't the people who own the place still be there? Like I don't get it.
I suppose, yeah, if you own the place. Yeah, I guess if you own the place, then like maybe you
But
would like actually want to spend your time there.
but again, that doesn't make
But
any sense though, because like what's stopping you from doing that now? Like I don't. I thought the whole purpose of
well,
this
like you have a
hour.
job or like whatever life's responsibilities are.
Okay, so in this.
I
Wait,
feel like
so this hour
half
is in the
the
middle of the
people
day?
would go directly home and half the people would go out to like yeah, like to the town square or whatever, wherever the people are going. That's yeah, the introverts would be like, I'm gonna go take a nap. And the extroverts would be like, I'm gonna go party. That's it. That's what I feel like would happen.
What? Okay, but so does everything go back to normal after the hour's up? Because like, how is that even enough time to go home at some time? Like, if your commute's 25 minutes, why would you ever go home? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, you wasted your hour.
Yeah. So no one in the city could do that if this happened in the middle of the day. Like, no one in
So
like a
like,
large metropolitan area could do that.
what if it's something that like is planned? Does that like count for the question? Like literally, like the world just collectively decided that like on the 23rd at noon, everyone it gets to just do whatever the fuck they want and they have no responsibilities to anyone else.
No,
Is that the same question? No.
it's not planned. It's just that like I don't know, all the oxygen in the atmosphere got converted into some weird like neurotoxin, and
Oh, okay. I thought we all
and
just knew
now
that
Yeah,
it was
no.
coming.
no.
There's no infrastructure. All the introverts are gonna be screwed because yeah, like they're gonna want to go home, but they're gonna be stuck on the highway. Introverts are probably gonna be like freaking out actually, because like yeah, like they're you're not where you want to be. You're gonna be like stuck in the middle of your day, and like you
Not
can't
me.
like
I'd be
get
right here.
anywhere chill.
I literally wouldn't even
Yeah,
notice that it happened.
yeah, you've set yourself up pretty good
Like if you
for
can't, you won't
sure.
be able to trap me on the highway. That's a terrible place to be. God.
Yeah, right. We're
Ugh.
sitting at your office desk, and like now you have no way of getting home because there's like no way to like, yeah, get home.
Yeah, I guess
Now you like,
I don't understand what any like why you couldn't do any of those things unless the only difference in this hour of like but you Gouda like defined it. He said that it would just be a neurotoxin that made people do what they basically desire to do. So that's different. Like yeah, I think people will be all over the place. There'll be some people who just like do the things they're passionate about. Like I imagine if I could just do whatever I wanted for an hour, I can't. I would probably just do stuff like spend with time with my daughter anyway. So like, yeah, I can't see it being anything that would be so revolutionary that like you were saying. I was imagining like a purge thing. Like people were aware of the choice, and like when the hour hit, people knew that they didn't have
Thursday,
responsibility.
ready,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, and in that sense, I couldn't imagine anyone doing anything but crime. Like because then, like, what was stopping them from doing all the regular stuff during the rest of the time?
the grip of capitalism.
The grip of capitalism doesn't stop you from going to the bar.
Yeah, it does. If you don't have enough money to go there, then you have to
Okay.
go get a job first. And then if you're at a
Okay.
job, where would you rather be? And then when that hour comes up,
I
at the
you could
bar.
you could panhandle enough money to get a beer at the bar.
Yeah, but even while you're panhandling, you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get money to buy something at a bar, but that's the same for everyone. That's not like that's
Actually, yeah. How does like socialism work like with that? Like you just get like a stipend from the government and then you just have to spend your stipend wise enough where you have like some left over for the bar?
I think
Is that how
everything
that would
is
work?
I think everything
But you still
like
have to go to
price
work
wise is
though.
probably just controlled.
I mean, what alternative is there really to capitalism? Like, yes, we're all strangling under its like grip and we all have to like go work at jobs that we don't like. But like literally like what other way is there really? Mm, like basically
I don't
nothing.
know. I'm not a politician because I don't want to answer those questions.
So for now, it's the grip of capitalism.
I mean, I don't feel that way. Like I don't feel like I have to do things I don't want to do. I think I just have to make choices with like how to prioritize my time. Like that's just how I think about it. Because I don't dislike my job. I don't dislike like the premise of doing a task and then being paid money for it. Uh, but like yeah, at the fringes of capitalism, or like even if in the majority of like how things are advertised, is that not good for the mass of people? Yeah, I don't know. It depends, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it can be good. It depends on how you see your place in it. Like there's a lot of things I could be doing with my time if I wasn't working, sure, but like I don't know. I don't know if I would be as happy either if I wasn't like learning in a certain way or like challenging myself in a certain way. And a lot of work does provide that. So I guess it also depends like where you're at. Like if you're at a fast food place, then yeah, I wouldn't be super excited about life either. I can definitely understand that. But in my mind, I don't think, well, I'm just stuck here. I think like I got to do something. I got to figure out how I can do something else.
Yeah. So that's what's not going to be open during that hour.
Fast food
Fast food
places.
places.
Yeah, but like, why would I spend my hour where I could do anything at a fast food place?
I feel like a 5-year-old might like want to go to McDonald's or something. Like all they want to do is get like a McNugget or something like that. Don't kids love that?
Hmm.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Milo likes chicken nuggets from there.
She's like, fakeness. Like I remember
Mm.
being that young. Like that stuff was amazing. Like when it like hit your tongue and your stomach, you like got boosts of energy. Like holy shit, this is it. Like I need more of this. And your parents were always like, no man, like you can't just like have all of it. You get a Happy Meal, which has 2 chicken nuggets in it, and you got to be happy, which is smart because who knows what that is.
Yeah. Well, I asked that question because the idea, and you kind of really got it plural with the capitalism thing, is like I'm just wondering, do you guys think that society only exists because of the risk of consequence, or
Yeah,
like if it
I do.
so if there was no risk of consequence, you don't think people would still just want to do, you think no one would want to do the right thing at all? Like
Uh,
in this hour, like no one's like just trying to, like you said, Laura, like you think no one is actually gonna like go to the bar and like just want to be of service. You think everyone is gonna do what
n-
exactly?
no.
Want to be the ones, the consumers, the ones with money,
Hmm.
getting served, getting the benefit, I guess. But like that's not an option per se, is it?
It could be. Someone could really like doing that.
Yeah, there are definitely people who like doing their job. So like if you happen to find a bar filled with people who loved it, then like yeah, then it's like that's the bar you want to be at. But I feel like yeah, not most people love it. And I
Yeah.
feel like most people are doing it because they have to.
Yeah, to the society like not existing without consequence. Yeah, I do believe the society needs consequences to exist. Not because I think a lot of people would do terrible things, but enough people would be able to corral enough power and sway the rest of the people who don't, who are like really not leaders or in the middle. I don't think most people are like built or have the faculties to be able to lead, but I think they can be shepherded and herded very well by certain ideas. So, like, if enough of those people get together in a world without consequences, then, like, yeah, things get pretty primal and barbaric pretty quick. And like we've had examples of that in history. Like there's, I can't, I don't know of any like off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are some like very barbaric cultures back in the day, and like even they had to set up rules in some sense because without it, you basically just fall apart. Like if there's no consequence, then you just there's nothing.
I
So
feel like
then, you guys think all of this is still just artificial? Like, with that seal being broken for an hour, like, I'm not saying people are automatically gonna forget, like, what year it is or, like, what technology is or, like, how stuff works. It's literally just for that hour, whatever impulse people have, like, they'll just do it. Like if someone woke up and they were thinking, "Oh, I kind of want to make a cake today," and it turns out like that hour hits and they're like, "I'm gonna make that cake right now." Like they're not really hurting anyone; they're just making a cake.
Hmm.
So, like, is there really not enough people like that? Do you think that if all that is like stripped away, that we just go back to I'm going to take your land by any means necessary. And by any means, I mean I'm definitely going to kill you.
Not in an hour. I think it would take longer than an hour because there's just too much there's too much structure already in place for it to fall apart in an hour like that. Like just like yeah, enough. There would have to be the majority of the people in the world just be completely devoid of their like desire for life. Like yeah, in that sense, yeah, obviously, then they would just they would just be anarchy. But I don't think there's enough people like that. So no, it would be definitely weird for an hour. People would definitely die, but the whole world fall apart? No, I think we need like a week. I think in a week, if everyone just decided there's no more rules and they just did what they wanted each time that impulse came, yeah, things would look completely different in a week.
I feel like there would still be I think there would be some societies that like or groups that would like corral power that would be absolutely horrible like you said, but I still do think there would be groups that would be like, okay, well, like let's create a constitution and like a rule of laws that we all like abide by and create like a like I don't really see why you couldn't do that. Like now that we know what democracy is and like voting, like you could just as easily decide to start running things on that system as well. And then like also like if your leader like is if you're in the country or like the group of people or the area that's ruled by the complete asshole, you always have the option of killing him and replacing it with like a better system. I mean, I guess like kind of same with democracy, but like the point of democracy is like if someone gets killed, like the whole thing doesn't like start crumbling because it doesn't all like depend on them. So like yeah, I feel like you can't take that away from humans. Like even if you destroy everything we have, as long as one guy has the bright idea to like not stop listening to like this asshole and like start voting on things, then like
Yeah, but that requires you to find a way to do away with the asshole. And if the asshole doesn't agree with democracy, then death is really the only option. It might lead to democracy for sure, but there still requires like the revolution before there can be like a new setup.
yeah, like if you're all like huddled around the town square, like after like the power's gone out and like all the services have stopped, and like there's this one asshole who's like shouting out orders and stuff. Like if it's like that early, then you could be like, hey, you could just start going to people and be like, hey, like instead of listening to him, like let's get this system of voting going. And then like if you can do it early, like then it could be like, okay, yeah, let's not listen to this guy. Let's vote something in and get something for real going. But like again, there would have to be someone like running that essentially. Like democracy isn't leaderless. Like you have to like literally someone would have to take the effort to like make that happen essentially. But still like I don't see why it couldn't like just as easily that like the asshole would win over. I do think like the asshole situation is like completely possible and likely like but like yeah, I think it's 50-50.
I just think in a world without the structure, you can't convince the asshole to walk away quietly. So
You can with the majority. Most people don't want to listen to the asshole, and if you can get all
wait,
of them to say that at the
wait,
same
why do
time
you assume that most people don't want to listen to the asshole?
because he's an asshole.
Well,
Who wants to
he's
listen
an
to that?
asshole. He's an asshole to you, but that's just we're talking about how we view people. Like the majority of people, I don't think view people the way we do. So they might be equally convinced by that asshole. To them, he might not be an asshole at all.
Okay, well yeah, if they're in on it, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, like it's not as simple as like, oh well, we'll just all vote because the majority of us are going to be as rational as I am. Like that rarely happens.
Yeah, I mean the asshole, I feel like at that point the asshole is already like entrenched in the system and it's too late. Like he has power. But if it's like early and
Right.
like none of you know each other, you could easily like put a stop to that development before he gets too
I,
entrenched and
I guess I'm
getting people
saying just
loyal
as
to his
quickly.
side.
I guess I'm saying just as quickly as you could set up democracy, the asshole could set up their own version of a system. Like I don't think it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's as simple as if we just do it first. Like while you're doing it, he's got time to do it, or they've got time to do it, or whatever group or whatever it is, they have time to do it too. And like in their system, they're not calling their system the bad one. They're probably calling yours the bad one.
Right. Yeah, I think it's completely like it could go either way, but I think it's equal chance. Humans are known for having the one ruler policy like for like a really long time, and democracy and republics are like definitely a more newer thing. And yeah, I think it would be pretty likely to see humans using either form if we had to suddenly start all over from scratch.
They'll eventually
But
fall.
one 1 hour without without discretion or discipline doesn't mean we're starting all over, or is that
No.
what you're saying?
Yeah, that's not enough
No,
time.
yeah, that's not enough time. Basically, in the hour, what would really happen is everyone would just be stuck in traffic, stuck at work, stuck whatever you were doing, and then you just have to like close your eyes and pretend like you're in your happy place.
Hmm.
Unless like you are someone like us who is lucky enough to actually like enjoy their lives and like what they do, like for the most part every day.
Okay.
Which like I,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
It's
most
like
people have that.
I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know, but I feel like that bodes well for us. I know right now in the year 2023, the 18th of October, there's like a lot of weird, like crazy shit going on around the world. But like, if everyone on the planet could just follow their impulses for 1 hour and like we'd still be fine, I feel like that's pretty good, right? Like, we're doing all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like, like
Yeah,
if
that is pretty good.
like 5,000 years ago, if you like lifted like all the discretion and discipline for 1 hour, then yeah, it would be over. Like,
Oh, that's for sure the purge. That is what's gonna
yeah.
happen.
So I
But
don't know.
yeah,
I feel like we've evolved a little bit, just a little bit. Not enough where we're not like the same species, but I think we're getting there.
yeah, I think we're getting there. I feel like we've created enough ways to enjoy life now. We're like, and it's accessible to everyday people where like you could reach for that. But like yeah, back in like the like ancient times, it's like either you were a farmer or a soldier. Like there is no in between. I mean, if you're a guy, and if you're a girl, you're just mom. That's it.
But they still had power, right? He had power of the home.
Yeah, I mean you have that now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically in the exact same way. I don't know that I don't know that the average everyday person has any power in any way that's like notably different from people of those times.
I would say power of agency.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
Agency, like secret agency.
Uh, like like to the I guess some people would say the illusion to direct your own life, but
Yeah, yeah,
like there you don't have like a king or a lord or a pharaoh or whatever the hell else you want to call it.
right.
That's like telling you exactly what your life is gonna look like from age 0 to whenever you die.
Yeah, in that sense, you're
That's
absolutely
true.
right. Like you can, you, depending
You
on
could
if you're
just go
willing to
walk off
learn
in
the
the forest and
system.
disappear.
Yeah, if you're willing to like learn the system, you do have a good amount of like personal agency. I guess I meant power in the sense that like you can that you can necessarily from like without much work can like make large impacts on the system that you're in. And in that way, I think the people of old probably are very similar to most people today. There's about the same level of, I don't know, of a gap or whatever I would call it in power. Yeah, you didn't have a whole lot of choices back in the day.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with my choices now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Although although
So,
today I don't think I would do any of the things like, I don't know. If I just had a boatload of money, like would I still do the same thing? Maybe. But maybe I would just do the simple things that people did back then. Just like go outside and hang out, see things.
yeah. I guess this might be well, one more question. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be that long. But I was wondering, when you guys were young, did either of you have what one might call like a hero? Was there like one grown up you looked up to and you're like, man, like they're so cool. Like when I grow up, I want to do everything just like them.
I did not have that.
I would assume like at one point that's how I saw my dad. I can hardly remember that time. I feel like I can like remember hints of maybe that time, but like yeah, that would probably be it. But then like yeah, once I actually found out like what he did, I was like that's boring. And then I started doing it. And now that's my career. Like in a way, I guess. I
Yeah,
evolved it.
I would say me neither, never at any point. And do you think do you think that's still a thing? Do you think that young people still look up to adults in that manner at all?
I think it
I
depends
would
on the
hope so.
relationship.
Yeah, I think it depends on the relationship. Yeah.
I mean, not even like someone that you have a personal relationship with, because I don't know, it seems to me like in the, I don't know, 70s, 80s, it was very common for a child to be like, "Oh yeah, this sports person is my hero." But I'm not sure that I hear a lot of that anymore. I guess I'm just wondering if you guys feel the same, and if you didn't have that when you're growing up, and I didn't either, I'm wondering when did it change? Was it like a long time ago? Or maybe I'm just not
I
asking the right people.
I thought it still existed because I thought that's why like people like Andrew Tate are popular because of like
Whoa.
Would
12
people
and
say
13
that
year olds.
he's their hero though? Like, do you think so?
Yeah, certain people
That's what I
would.
assumed.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
okay.
he I think he like caters to or sort of like serves a group of like probably young men or even maybe like teenagers who don't have father figures in their lives and probably were not told they were very valuable. Like their outlook on themselves is not very good because of how they've just gone through life. At least that's what I've gathered from people who say they like him because some of the and I've listened to it actually a bunch, and so, some of the things he says like make perfect sense. They're not really off the wall at all. But like the only things that get clipped up when people who don't like them like put him on is like the craziest things that he has said. Like so he goes all over the spectrum. It's weird. Like in his longer form content, he says like probably in an hour he'll say like 40 to 45 minutes of things that make sense, and then for 15 minutes of them he'll just go full on aggro. Like I don't even I have to believe almost that it's kind of like a character, because if he really believes that, it's almost kind of weird that he would only put it on for 15 minutes. Like he just like decides, all right, this he's like this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna go full fuck you mode,
Like I
and
gotta
like
spice this up.
yeah, it's just weird. So yeah, from what I've gotten from him, his audience is people who have just like not been loved very well. Like that's
Oh
legitimately what it is. No, seriously. And I completely get that. Like some especially if you grow up without a dad. Like a lot of that's very very hard as a guy like who if you've never even seen what like a father figure is supposed to be, I don't think you realize how important it is until you're trying to grow up yourself. And it's just like
man.
yeah, it's bad. So like he serves those people in a lot of ways.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't understand it. Like, but yeah, I feel like him, and I've heard of like John Cena. Like kids really
John
like
Cena,
him.
really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
like
Yeah, I probably imagine The Rock's kind of like that.
yeah, probably like The Rock. Yeah, that's probably like he's like, oh, he's yeah. Taylor Swift.
Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Kim Kardashian. Yeah. But I feel like yeah, younger kids. I feel like she's a little too old for like the younger kids now.
Yeah, but again,
Like maybe her
she's a
sisters or like
she's
whatever.
another one. Like I don't think she's dumb. I think she plays a dumb character, and she knows. But and that's the more like somewhat sinister part of her. That's why I don't like The Socialite, because I feel like they lie on purpose to get fans to go a certain way. And I don't get that. If you say things you actually believe and you're just not liked, that's one thing. But to like completely form a character that you're just like ugh, just this woman. Like I just don't understand her and her family. I don't understand how they've gone on for so long.
Yeah,
But
she got married for like 15 minutes to that one dude.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she was married a couple of times. What is she?
Like it was a
Yeah.
month.
The Humphrey guy or whatever his name is.
Yeah. And
But
then she went and had kids with Kanye West.
yeah, I don't understand why she's famous. I do, but I don't. And it makes me sad about how people see role models. It makes it
Hmm.
feel unfortunate. Which is again why I would prefer an Andrew Tate, probably a crime lord. I prefer a very transparent crime lord to a socialite. At least I know what I'm getting with you, because I can work within boundaries, even boundaries of crime. At least there's a fucking structure.
Hmm.
It's just I can't take the socialite. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
I was just thinking about that because, yeah, like you're talking about the socialite, and I feel like a lot of those people are influencers and all that, and I'm just not sure. Like, are influencers are they heroes now, or are they really just celebrities? Or is there a difference? Like,
Hmm.
how do you
Yeah.
make a distinction?
Yeah. I don't know if there is a difference
I
anymore.
feel like if you're young and foolish, you'll be like, I want to do everything just like then. But once you're older, then you're just like, okay, I like them, but like, let's be real.
But that's why I asked. That's something that none of us did. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a necessarily normal thing.
I don't think we represent normal.
Well, like we had like
Okay,
we
that's
had
fair.
I feel like for our generation, we had people like we looked up to who were like popular, like The Rock, John Cena, Taylor Swift. These are all the same people, but like, it's like, yeah, like Kim Kardashian. So, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah,
You know, disgusting.
like maybe like Michael Jordan, Brett Favre.
See, like those people,
Okay, so when was the
that's
sorry.
not hero to me. Like I don't,
Hmm.
I can see maybe as a kid if what you want to do is play basketball, but even those people, like that's why I feel like this is just bad communication, and like parents should have nipped this in the bud, but of course they didn't. But anyway, yeah, like it's not a hero if you see someone do something that you really want to do. Like they could be a role model for that thing, but I feel like when people say hero, they're talking, at least when we were kids, they were talking about that being that person and their life being emulated. And like
Hmm.
nothing. If you know anything about Michael Jordan past his fucking basketball career, there's very little about his life that you would want to emulate. So, like, yeah, even him, it's just like fame should not equal that. But to Guda's point, I think for majority of people, there really is no difference.
And that's why I'm asking, like, if we go back to the 70s and 80s, like, I'm almost positive there was a time where if you asked a kid that, they might say, like, oh, Buzz Aldrin or Neil, what's his name? Neil Armstrong
Hmm.
or
Yeah,
like I don't know, some kind of war hero,
Yep.
like someone who actually like Harriet Tubman or who's that lady that flew over the ocean and died? Uh, Amelia
Amelia.
Earhart. Like, do these type of figures exist anymore?
They do, but they're not in the spotlight the way that people who are influencers are.
Yeah, we had Stephen Hawking or whatever, but
Get
he's
out of
gone.
here. No one was saying that that guy was their hero. Maybe, actually, I shouldn't say that.
It was a
I
very
probably
small
Maybe there were
point.
like some really like smart
Yeah,
people who
it's a
like knew
very
about
small
him.
portion. Yeah, but that tells you something. The people who are doing things that require your brain, like in a very specific way that requires like consistent probing all the time, like those people are not like heralded by our society at all.
We
And
have Neil deGrasse Tyson. People
nah.
love
People
him.
hate him.
People hate him.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's made too much public appearances.
nah, he went cuckoo on the fucking gender thing.
Wait,
Mm.
what happened? He said scientifically genders exist.
He said no, he went the other way.
He said scientifically genders don't exist.
He's basically saying that anyone who identifies as these things should just be are basically those things.
So if you're a squirrel, you're a squirrel.
Yeah, I don't think he said that, but I think he's on the lines of gender being fluid because it's like a social construct. He's someone who is along those lines, I guess.
Yeah, like aren't there animals with like vaginas and penises somehow?
Yeah, but there's a word for that already.
Mhm.
It's called hermaphrodite.
Vaginas?
Like,
That's the scientific word for
Jesus
it.
Christ.
well,
But
I
I
think
mean,
that's a really good place to end. No, I'm kidding. No, go ahead.
yeah, like if you start using like CRISPR or whatever, then you can like do it to yourself. That's
Oh
the
my,
future.
oh my God.
People are gonna give themselves vaginuses. Yeah, so 2022, I bet that like a lot, I bet that 50% of people are gonna have vaginuses in 2022. Maybe a little bit less.
2022. That was last year.
You you
You
bet you're
22,
betting.
I'm
22?
sorry,
Yeah, what?
22,
Okay,
22.
okay.
Yeah. So 200 years from now. Yeah, I'm gonna bet there's gonna be a significant population with vaginas.
I mean, last year we were kind of close. We were kind of close to
Right?
getting.
Yeah, we can't even like really do it yet. Like we barely have the technology to make that work. Like we basically don't.
The second that that like procedure becomes as easy as like getting your ears pierced, then yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be all bets are off, baby.
No, yeah, if
Yeah.
that ever happened, then it's over.
Like you can have the best of both worlds. I feel like why wouldn't people start picking that? Like as soon as like the social weirdness gets over it, People be like, all right, yep, sign me up for both.
Who are going to be our heroes then, do you think? Ah, to
Neil
ponder.
Vaginas Armstrong. He'll be the first vaginas to land on Venus or something like that.
uh, yeah. Oh man. So yeah,
Crazy.
I think we'll leave it there. Good things to think about. Thank you, both of you, for coming on that journey with me. And yeah, I think John said it best today. If you have a brain, we don't care how you use it, just use it. But like,
Please.
preferably use it some way. Like
Yeah.
that helps all of us.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh, until next week. Bye bye.